Petrifying stories, help from the dead, horror story animated. Me and my family were scrambling for money. We had to come up with $500 or we would be evicted from our house. My parents were broke, they both lost their jobs and weren't able to find a new one. My brother and sister don't work. I work but didn't have the money for rent this month. I was a month behind, then 2 months, and now 3 months behind. So we got a notice telling us if we don't catch up with our rent, we will be kicked out. My family had nowhere else to go. If we got kicked out, then we would be put onto the streets. I couldn't let that happen. We managed to get up to $300. The last $200 was impossible to get by tomorrow because that's when rent was due. My grandmother had recently passed away. She would help us pay rent, but not anymore since she had passed. I knew if she was still alive, she would give us the $200. I stayed up all night trying to get the money, but I just couldn't. Early in the morning, we hear this knock at our door. We open it and it's the owner. He tells us to pay the remaining $200 or it's time to leave. We were all sad, but knew we had to leave. Just as we were leaving, we hear a loud noise come from the kitchen. I run over to the noise and hear it again. This time it's coming from behind the wall. I put my ear against the wall and fell through a hole. Inside of the hole was an envelope. It had partner written on it and nothing else. That was extremely weird because my grandma would call me that, no one else. I opened up the envelope and it was exactly $200 in there. Not a penny less or more. I was so surprised. I gave the owner the money and we got to keep living there. I couldn't believe that happened. It was impossible for her to know that we would need exactly $200, and she couldn't have left it there now because she had passed away several weeks ago. I never believed in the afterlife until that day. Ever since then, I know my grandma had been watching over me and she is always with me in my heart. Love you, Grandma Jojo, and shout out to my Grandma Sha Sha and the luckiest partner in the world.